Now here we are then for more F1 Manager. Today we're here for round number 4 and we're running on the latest patch which dropped yesterday. So we're going to check it out and see what's new and hopefully continue our good form. If you haven't seen the last episode, round 3 Australia, link in the top right, go check it out because spoilers are ahead. And yeah, I want you guys to get up to speed on Season 2 as a lot has been happening in terms of upgrades and performances. So yeah, let's get into it. If you're going to enjoy as always, subscribe for more if you're new to the channel and let's kick this one off. Now then, we're here for another race weekend. This one is going to be round 4 at Imola. So very much looking forward to it as I think it could potentially suit our car. We have no rain forecast this weekend, 67% chance of a safety car, and the strength of our car is in the straights and also the low speed corners. So I feel like this could be a decent event for us. Now, with that said, we have some small updates which I'll quickly run you guys through. So as you can see at the end of the last episode, we had 2 upgrades on the way, which was the side pods and the suspension. I actually went ahead and took off some engineers to basically engineer a 3rd upgrade, which is a rear wing upgrade, because that is one of our weakest points of the car along with the suspension. So yeah, 3 upgrades on the way in the next month or so, and that should hopefully help us out quite a bit heading into the midway point of the season. But now let's get into race performance targets and get into the weekend's action. As for the targets this weekend, we're running the same ones as the last 3 races so far in Season 2. So essentially get into Q2 or top 15, top 15 in the race finish, and also top 15 in qualifying as an active streak for 3 races. So yeah, 15th basically across the board, and we just got to try and get there with 1 car and that will get the job done. So Friday has finished FP1, FP2 in the bag. Just a quick update, Sainz setting the pace ahead of Leclerc. Ferrari looking pretty strong in their own home Grand Prix. And then we have Alonso P12, Sebastian 14th on the medium. Pace isn't looking as good as I thought so far, but it is what it is. Still though, decent start to the weekend. As you can see, we're working on these performance bonuses. So far so good. Right, so that's 1 car down. Happy days. Sebastian's happy. Let's see what Alonso has to say.
Well done, guys. Very good. Happy. Copy.
We'll take that, 99. Overall, happy. Right, so practice has finished. FP3 in the book. Sebastian P7, Alonso P11. Just picking up the pace right at the end there, letting him kind of, take the handbrake off and see what kind of pace he really has. So yeah, good session. And overall, we also get maximum points, pretty much 15 out of 15 on performance bonus. So let's get into qualifying. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so here we are, qualifying time. Alonso, the first car on track, Sebastian behind. We've gone out a little bit later than usual to hope to have some better track position and also track conditions, ideally, in terms of grip. So let's see what the first lap is going to deliver. Alonso is going to encounter traffic in the form of Checo, but I think he'll clear him before the final couple of corners. Yes, he does. Seb's got a clear run, so let's see what these first laps are. Both drivers on a 2-lap run, so there will be a second hot lap on the way. First lap, Alonso 1.3, 1.4 tenths quicker than Sebastian Vettel. Lap number 2, Alonso's going to have traffic in the form of Russell, I'm pretty sure. He's got a Haas up the road. Russell gets out the way nicely. Seb's got clear track right now. It's mainly just Alonso if he can clear this traffic, which he does. Right then, so Alonso, will he improve on a second lap? No, he does not. Sebastian Vettel, does he improve across the line? Yes, he does marginally, so that brings them about 0.7 of a tenth apart. Alonso didn't improve on that one. Okay, here we go. Time for the final runs. Everybody out on track. We're towards the back as always to try and get the best track conditions. Currently in with both cars. However, Russell and Norris are in the knockout zone, which I'm expecting them to improve. So let's see if Sebastian Vettel can improve here. Ideally, jumping Zhou would be pretty sweet. As for Alonso, if he could jump Stroll, that would be nice. I'd be pretty confident with Alonso if he jumps Stroll. Sector 1 though isn't good from Fernando, and also Sebastian isn't improving. They're both on a single fly here, so let's see. We'll see things start to shuffle around and move around. Right, checkered flag drops. Car's improving. Lando is out. He hasn't improved. Surprise elimination. This could provide an opportunity here for Sebastian. Alonso across the line does improve. Sebastian, does he get out of Q1? Yes, he does. Yes. So Q1 results in the bag. Carlos Sainz setting the pace 14.8. And for the first time this season, we have 2 cars in Q2. Lando, the big surprise scalp in that one. And also both cars getting ahead of Lance Stroll in the AlphaTauri, so that is a sign of progress. In terms of pace, realistically, I think the absolute maximum we can hope for is maybe P11. I think the top 10 at that kind of pace is out of the question. But P11 could be on the cards for Alonso at least. Seb isn't a million miles away in this race weekend. So time for Q2 then, and I've sent both drivers out straight away as there's less time to get the running done. They're both on 2 flying laps. Alonso is going to encounter traffic first in the form of Pierre Gasly. I don't think Seb will have any issues. Alonso's going to hit him at the chicane, which isn't ideal. But yeah, I think Seb will be okay. Only thing is we're going to encounter Gasly again on the in lap. When he pits and we're on our second fly, we're going to hit him again. But Alonso 16.0 banker, not bad at all. Sebastian quite a bit slower there into the 16.2s. But that's not bad from Alonso. Let's go for another lap and see if we can improve. At this point, this tyre is used. We used it to get through. So this would now be the 3rd time lap on the tyre. So attempt number 2, Sebastian is going to have Ricciardo ahead of him. I think Ricciardo is on a lap, so he's not going to get in the way, which is good. Alonso approaching Gasly yet again. This time I think he's going to clear him just before the chicane. So we'll see. Neither driver really improving though. Seb did set a personal best first sector. Alonso does not improve. Sebastian also, okay, he does improve. Finds a little bit of time there. Finds a 10th or so. So it's just 0.6 away from Alonso. Right, let's get ready for the final runs. Now then, interestingly, only 11 cars have gone out. 13 if you include both of our cars. So 2 of them haven't gone back out. One of them is George Russell. I think the other one is Zhou Guanyu, who has stayed in the garage. Yeah, so let's try and get Zhou if we can at least with Sebastian. As for Alonso, I think top 10 is going to be difficult. So let's see then, I've sent Alonso out behind Sebastian this time. So Fernando should get the best track conditions. Fresh set of tyres, single flyer, so optimal premium conditions here to try and hot lap and improve. But neither driver up in the first sector. Yet again, same as Q1. So let's see if the tyres deliver in sectors 2 and 3 maybe. Checkered flag drop, so Zhou is finished. I'd love to get Seb ahead of Zhou if possible. And then as for Alonso, he's got to find 2/10 to get ahead of Albon and Bottas, which is pretty difficult. That's a lot of time to find. He's not even improving, which is quite surprising. Sebastian's going to cross the line first. Let's see what this lap is going to be from Sebastian Vettel. Across the start finish. Does he improve? Yes, he does. He gets ahead of Alonso. Alonso crosses the line and does not improve that much. Sebastian Vettel out-qualifies Fernando Alonso. So confirmation, we lose both drivers in Q2. And for the first time this season, Sebastian Vettel gets one up on his teammate. Admittedly, Alonso dropped the ball a little bit, pace-wise, in Q2. Quite a few cars went slower actually. Bottas went a 10th slower. But Alonso, even if he'd matched his Q1 lap time, it wouldn't have done anything more than P13. But Sebastian, by a 1,000th, gets ahead of his teammate. So fair play. Nice job, Seb. So tyre wear is pretty low around here. I've gone for a split strategy. So Sebastian, because he's the first car, he'll get the fastest strategy on paper, which is a medium to hard tyre strategy. Alonso will go for the inverted hard tyre start, but then go for a set of softs. We'll see if that works out. Bit of a different option there. And we'll see what happens. The good thing about Alonso's strategy especially is that if there is a safety car or something, he could benefit quite nicely and go into the medium tyre. But yeah, 1 stops across the board. Let's see how it goes. Leave a like if you're very excited, prediction down below, and hopefully it's a good race for us.
The drivers there lined up on the grid under mostly sunny skies. And there's Sebastian Vettel. They'll be starting the race from the bottom half of the grid, so there's a fair bit of ground to make up. And here's Alonso, the team's second driver. With their starting position in the back 10, they'll have their work cut out for them. Everything's been building to this. All eyes are on the race here at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
On the way then, for the race off the line. Looks like both drivers got off pretty well. Alonso getting a great start and jumping Sebastian on the hard tyre, so excellent stuff there from Fernando. Not ideal in terms of the tyre compound. Obviously, I want to, save on the medium in front, but let's see. It's going to be a long race, so let's not panic. Let's start to speed this up a little bit and get into the juicy bits. And pay attention, hopefully. The key thing here is staying within DRS. We've got that one big, massive DRS zone. I'm expecting Lando to, of course, fight back through the field as he started out of place, so he should make his way back through. But yeah, for now, you can see we're looking okay. Let's hope to keep it this way. I'm expecting Alonso to possibly struggle. Take a look at the compounds, though, actually. A lot of cars on hard tyres, so more than I thought, interestingly enough. Only Bottas and Norris electing for the soft tyre, so let's see what happens here. This could be interesting. Split strategies this race could make for an interesting one. Alonso just trying to hang on to some DRS. I think he's managed to hold on. Yes, he has. Sebastian keeping the faster cars at bay behind, but yeah, Alonso is just struggling a bit here. I might try and go for a coordinated switch without losing too much time. So we'll go.
Yeah, take it easy. Okay. So
we'll go for a switch.
Okay.
And there we go. They've swapped round, so we can move them back around. I will keep Sebastian in a push mode just to try and close the gap to Albon. Let's see if both of our cars still have DRS. Sebastian's got DRS. Does Alonso have DRS? No, he doesn't. And Fernando gets overtaken by Zhou. So let's see if we can follow Zhou maybe. Hopefully he's got the pace to drag us along. Very impressed with Sebastian so far. He's currently on the back of a train, which Zhou has just arrived at. But this train features Albon, Bottas, Ricciardo and Ocon. So we're all latched onto the back of an Alpine, which is pretty impressive pace-wise, as the Alpines have been pretty strong this season so far, as you can tell by Gasly in P5. But yeah, let's see. The medium looks like the nice race tire to be on at the moment. But it's not going too badly. I can't lie. I'm happy. I'm comfortable going at 4 times speed. Although I'll just say that Sebastian has just dropped back a little bit here. I'm confident he'll catch back up though. I think I've just lost a bit of time battling. Now Alonso has found himself a place to kind of sit, and that's behind Stroll, so the man who, of course, he replaced at Aston Martin on the same tyre strap. So they're doing their thing. Now Sebastian's definitely back in play. There was a bit of battling on that lap, so Seb's still sitting there. It does feel like our straight line speed's actually not that great. I feel like we are struggling a little bit on straight line performance. Now on this lap, Zhou has just made a slight error. I just missed the replay, but he's dropped out of the train in the battle ahead, and he's actually dropped into the clutches of Stroll and Fernando. And interestingly enough, you know, Zhou's on that medium tyre. So at this stage, he doesn't really have the tyre advantage anymore, so it's kind of falling into our hands quite nicely here. So let's see if we just try and latch onto these two and just try and stay there. But Alonso is struggling for pace, man. The pace isn't there right now. Sebastian's looking a lot more comfortable in this race, honestly speaking. Okay, Bottas in the pit lane. So, as expected, Norris also in the pit lane. Both of the soft tyre runners who started on that tyre are in. And they're going to go for, let's see what tyre they go for. Should be a hard tyre, a one stop to the end. That's my prediction. No, Bottas onto the medium. And Lando onto the medium. So, 2 stopping. So, they're out of the equation. Bottas will drop out of the battle, so that's going to gain Sebastian and Alonso a point on the one stopper. Oh, I just heard something. Safety car deployed.
Safety car.
So let's look at this. There's Sergio Perez.
Into the hairpin. Does he catch a front left? Yes, he does.
Oh, a nasty crash there.
That was a big shunt. Right, so now we have to think about strategy. So Sebastian can go to the end on the hard tyre. I think he should be able to make it. So 47 laps to go. The hard tyre goes for 66. So happy days. We can go for that and bring Sebastian in. As for Alonso, what can we do with him? Let's have a look. I'm going to keep Fernando out in the hope that we'll get another safety car or a virtual safety car. I was tempted to go for a set of softs now and basically go really aggressive to try and pass as many cars as possible and then get on the medium and push to the end. But Alonso just isn't on the pace this race. So we'll play the long game.
Sebastian, pit lane.
Copy that. So Sebastian, make sure you get your pit limiter as you come in the pit lane.
Interestingly, nobody is pitting. Only Sebastian Vettel. Okay. Okay. This could make or break our race. But let's see. That's the beauty, I think. Leaving Alonso out could work because it keeps us in the race with one car. But this now gives us an option of having a potentially incredible race. Seb's going to rejoin behind Latifi ahead of Schumacher, so that's good. All I hope for is that Seb has good pace in the hard tyre, unlike Alonso. There's a bit better pace to kind of run. That would be ideal. Okay, the race about to get back underway then. So, we're going to get 44 racing laps.
Make sure we get a good restart. Okay, go.
You can see this is more than feasible for Sebastian to make, so let's find out. Both drivers have saved up a little bit of fuel, so we can use that if necessary. We're going to keep them on standard modes, especially Sebastian. We have to play the long game here and basically lose the least amount of time battling and push at the right moments, you know, the right times. So essentially we're going to kind of keep Seb in a conservative mode at first, and then once everybody pits, Seb should move up the order, and that's when we'll start to crank up the pace a little bit and see what Sebastian can do. So we're going to try and keep that fuel back, keep those tyres fresh, and then we'll try to push later on. So yeah, let's see how this works out, but this could be a big strat for us, a big play, especially because we're the only car to pit. Now the majority of cars are on the hard tyre, so it shouldn't be an issue for us to keep up. I'm hoping if Alonso can stay within the DRS and keep pace on these slightly older tyres, then we'll be looking okay. I know Sebastian will keep up fine, so there's no big issue. Dare I say, I could maybe even go light with Sebastian. Oh, someone's made a mistake.
Someone's run wide.
Yep, Joe made a mistake for the second time this race.
Let's see what happened there. Let's take another look. There we have Joe. They're forced wide, and there we can see them slide off.
Into the gravel there for Joe, so that's going to drop him to the back. So Alonso P12, Seb P14. I've put Seb back on standard because he was dropping back a bit too much. I'm kind of just balancing around.
Drop back a bit.
So we've got a few breaks. Alonso and Stroll are able to keep up with the top 10. So yeah, this isn't good. I am going to set Alonso to push here. Right, so we're going to try and latch onto Alex Albon here. So we're going to go full deploy with Alonso in the hope we can try to close the gap. Straight through. No, not quite. Still battling with Stroll, but now he goes through. Max Verstappen in the pit lane. Interesting, only car to pit. Meanwhile, Sebastian in push mode here, trying to get past Stroll, but it's not going to happen just yet. So we'll go back to standard. We have dropped Latifi, which is good. Let's see if Alonso can actually push us towards the top 10, or at least this little pack of cars in front. Charles Leclerc now in the pit lane, also Kevin Magnussen, so we're starting to see some movement. Now Alonso's within DRS range of Albon, I'm pretty sure. He should open up the letterbox on the rear wing, yes he does, and now this is going to allow Seb to drive past, as Stroll does not have DRS.
Safe fuel, safe fuel. Okay.
There we go. Happy days, Sebastian goes through. Alonso just dropping out of range again. Doesn't quite have the pace. Sebastian might actually go through here. And I won't fight it. I'll just let them do it in standard mode. Hope for minimal time loss. Although Sebastian doesn't get through. Okay, he does run the outside. This is time loss, guys. We do not want this. Come on. Trusting you here to behave. It's still going on.
Look at that! They've run wide!
Okay, there we go. Sebastian's gone through. That was a bit risky. Okay, Sebastian has got himself within DRS and has dragged Alonso with him. So this is good. We're not, leaving Alonso for dead. We're keeping him in the race. This is going well at the minute. I'm happy with this. We're just going to keep Sebastian here, and then once everybody pits and gets out of our way, we'll set him to push. Let's see what kind of pace he can do. Alonso can't keep up. Just doesn't have the pace. Bottom line. So we'll leave Alonso to do his thing. He's battling Stroll right now. So right now we have Sebastian in light mode. It's working okay for us. This is good tyre saving, which I'm happy about. Meanwhile, I've got Alonso on a bit of a push just to try and close the gap a little bit to try and maybe get within DRS. But I don't think it's going to happen. Okay, now this is interesting. Alonso essentially is being a roadblock as Verstappen makes an error.
Let's have a look. Now here we see Max Verstappen. They go
A small mistake.
right off.
Little one, like Stroll, not really a big one. But right now this is important because Alonso's essentially blocking faster cars. So again, this is doing Seb a favour in terms of the long-term strategy of this race. Again, we're just keeping Seb in this mode. The moment Ricciardo and Albon get out of the way, we'll just commit to a push and see what we can do. Yellow flag sector 1 still. But I can't see nobody dropping. Magnussen, he's behind us, so that's okay. But yeah, Alonso's doing his thing, man. I've got him in standard mode. He's hanging on in there. I am going to try and get for that soft tyre with Alonso because worst case we get the fastest lap.
Watch this. There's Leclerc.
Alonso now getting overtaken by a few cars. Stroll got through and now Leclerc. Bottas and Norris pit, the two stoppers. So yeah, that safety car has brought them into the race though, to be fair. They're now a factor in the battle versus Alonso. Sebastian holding on beautifully here in conserve mode. It's not really affecting things too much. Leclerc arriving.
Okay, here's the Ferrari.
So former teammates, Leclerc up the inside of Sebastian into the toaster hairpin. Nice move. Clean move. But Leclerc's not going anywhere. Still waiting for those pit stops. Alonso, by the way, has passed Stroll and is trying to push a little bit here as he's approaching his pit window. Verstappen can't make any progress right now, so this is looking good from Fernando. Right, this could be it. Carlos Sainz in the pit lane. It could be time to push, aka try to hold on to Leclerc for dear life and hold on to his DRS. Let's see if Ricciardo and Albon both pit. Yes, they do. Right, so let's see. Let's see what kind of pace Sebastian has. Tyres are okay. We can push it. We've got a bit of a margin to push there, but we are going to have to manage a little bit. As for Fernando, we'll go a couple more laps until we're down to the 30%. Try to latch onto Verstappen if we can here. And we've been dropped already. Tyres overheating, and Leclerc has pulled away in less than half a lap. Worth noting, Sainz has pit and has rejoined ahead, so he's going to win this race. He's looking very comfortable. So it's looking like a Ferrari 1-2, but right now we're on the podium, and the next car behind us on track, net position, I believe, is George Russell, who's 11 seconds behind us. So we have 11 seconds gap with 18 laps to go. Hamilton might actually be the next net car behind us, to be fair. But yeah, we've got a healthy margin right now.
Graining in all four tires now. Soon we need to box.
Loud and clear, Fernando. Loud and clear.
What would you want? Box?
Yep, we're going to box now, Fernando. Let's get that done. Let's get it out of the way. So we'll get those soft tyres on. Fresh set. We'll drop out the points, but we'll see if we can try and fight back. What tyres is everybody on? Okay, we've got a mixed up bunch, to be fair. A few soft runners, a couple of hards, mediums. We can fight back. Points could be on the table, maybe. Would be a bit of a stretch. We're going to be P13 comfortably, and we're going to have to gain about 5-6 seconds to get back in the points, maybe a bit more, 7 or 8. But let's see. Work to do with Fernando, but we'll just leave him in standard mode and see if one by one you can start to, you know, pick off cars and make progress. Sebastian's got Verstappen and Hamilton for company. But let's leave Fernando to do his thing.
We're good to push. Copy.
Latifi behind, also on soft tyres. But let's see then. Final 15-16 laps. Can Sebastian hang on? Just looking at tyres, Verstappen is on the same strat as us. So latching onto Max would be a nice little option here.
We're just watching the Red Bull.
So Verstappen goes through at the chicane. Around the outside, nice move there, to be fair, pretty straightforward. And now Hamilton looking to get past as well, but not quite able to just yet. I don't think we're getting a replay, but basically Sebastian got overtaken into Acqua Minerale, which is quite surprising. Gonna set SEB to push a little bit now because I want to try and stick with the Verstappen and Hamilton. We kind of have to stick with this pack now, realistically. I think P9 is on the table. I think that's where we're going to finish this race. Or P8, should I say. Sorry, P8. I think that's realistic. So we're just trying to race Magnussen here. I think we could maybe get Ocon, finish P7, but I think he'll end up catching us. Okay, this isn't sustainable now. I'm going to go back to standard modes and hold on to what we have.
Now, just watch the Mercedes here.
So Russell through the chicane, just like Verstappen. And Gasly not too far behind. Just watching Fernando at the moment. He's got fuel on target, battery recharge, and he's behind 1, 2, 3, 4 cars. And then there's a 10-second gap. Right, so Fernando still hasn't made any moves, but he now goes through on Latifi. Let's see if we can get another move done here. We've used a big chunk of battery on this lap so far. Meanwhile, Sebastian's been overtaken by Gasly.
Martin have just gained a race position.
Come on, Fernando, got to go here. Got to try and make some moves. Does he go through on Stroll? Yes, he does. Let's try and get one more out the inside of Joe. Lovely. Now we can just recharge a little bit.
With a great play there. They've moved up a place.
Let things recharge. I think we're looking good for P9 though. 10-second gap to Albon with 8 laps to go. Meanwhile, Alonso's scrapping with Norris and gets ahead. 11-second gap though to the cars in front. But there we go. Alonso has broken the DRS. So Alonso's on his own. Seb still hanging on. Ocon goes through on Seb. I tried to recharge a little bit there, but
just advanced.
Didn't really work. Yeah, we're not catching. Let's just squeeze these tyres a little bit. 10% to go. We'll just manage the gap to Albon. So Carlos Sainz wins in Imola. Meanwhile, last lap, Sebastian has had the gap eaten away, but he's managed to hold on. And we've done it. This is it. Bring her home, baby. P8, Seb, P13 Alonso. Didn't quite have the pace today, to be honest, but done a good job holding up cars at the right time. We've done good strategy, worked as a team, got past the traffic at the right time. But Sebastian Vettel, for the first time this season, is going to score points. And it's 4 massive points in the battle for the constructors. And we outscore Alfa Romeo and AlphaTauri and McLaren. Well done, Seb. Great job.
Nice checker flag.
Car was great this afternoon. Thank you.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Take all the pickup on the way in. Well done. Take all the pickup you can. All the pickup you can.
And there we have it then. Results are in for Imola. Carlos Sainz, like I mentioned, with a dominant win ahead of Leclerc. Sainz also got the fastest lap. Hamilton on the podium for Mercedes-Benz ahead of Verstappen, who made that strategy work. And yeah, Sebastian Vettel, 8th place. Happy, happy days. Alonso doesn't quite get points, didn't quite have the pace today, but still a good performance all round. I said this would suit our car a bit better, and I think overall it was a better weekend for the team as a whole. Alonso's dropping the ball a little bit, which is a bit of a shame. In the Drivers' Championship, Sebastian up to P11 with those 4 points, overtakes his teammate, who is in P14, but now you can see both drivers have scored points this season, and that is very healthy. Good rivalry, good competitiveness as we head into the constructors. You can see we're up to 7th place. We overtake AlphaTauri and Haas. Only 4 points behind McLaren and 7 behind Alfa Romeo as the chase begins to try and secure that 5th place. And we have 3 upgrades on the way over the next month. So the chase is on and our season could be starting off now. Now we're a couple of races in. So finally, before we wrap up, bonuses. Sebastian gets a nice chunky bonus. Alonso not so much. And yeah. Overall, both drivers have decent growth potential still, to be fair. Sebastian, as you can see, has a bit more than Fernando, so he will gradually, each race, close the difference between them a little bit. But yeah, that is good. Finally, cash payouts. Didn't quite get the fast lap. We have to pay 1.5 mil for a points bonus for Sebastian, but I don't mind. That is a great result for the team. Right then, so we're going to leave it here, guys. I think there's a lot to be done. I'll take care of that probably in the next episode on stream, if all goes according to plan. So we're going to leave it there. I'm also out of time. I've got to go somewhere. So leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more. And yeah, we're back soon for round 5 in Miami. And the season is starting to hot up, guys. I'm very excited. As always, like I said, leave a like, subscribe. Check out the 2 videos on screen in a moment. And yeah, guys, cheers for watching. And I'll see all of you in the next one. Until then, take care. And let's go back from me.